Welcome back to our Legacy podcast series, Games to Remember, where we chronicle some of the most memorable games in Highmark Stadium history with the players who made them possible. I'm Bills play-by-play broadcaster Chris Brown, and in this episode, we examine, during one of the more entertaining periods of the drought era, how the Bills ended a losing streak against one of their most despised division rivals. And here to help us with some of the lesser-known details of Week 3, 2011 Bills Patriots here at Highmark Stadium is the receiver who was first in Bills history to have 3 consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons. It's Stevie Johnson, the original fly guy, number 13. Stevie, thanks for taking the time and helping us out with this game that, for some people gets a little fuzzy over the years, But I guess the first question for you is, let's refresh everybody's memory a bit about this iteration of the Bills. 2011, you're coming off your first season with Gailey as your head coach. You guys were only 4-12 in 2010, but those last 8 games, you guys go 4-4. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick pretty much establishes himself as the guy at quarterback because there was a lot of shuffling at that position, as you well know. You emerge as the team's number 1 receiver. You come off a 10-touchdown season in 2010. You got Fred Jackson and C.J. Spiller in the backfield. How did the group feel just coming into that 2011 season?
We felt great, knowing that we had Fitzpatrick to lead the way. We was feeling great, like everybody had opportunities. That's what the Fitz magic was, and just to start things off, though, it just started with pride. We had a sense of pride to try to be that team to break that streak of not making it to the playoffs. So that's what I think oozed over into the community. And then the type of games that we had, I think that just helped things out.
So when I say Bills Patriots to you and you think back to that time, what kind of word association comes to mind first?
It was a beautiful day. I feel like it
75 degrees.
Day. Yeah, it was a beautiful day.
Late September.
And I just remember, even after the game, just seeing the stands, it was still filled up, still like a party. It was like a watch party at the stadium. It was one of them feelings. So that's all I remember. It just seemed like it was a beautiful day for the Mafia.
And nobody really saw you guys coming at the start of the season. You guys go out to Kansas City. You wax the Chiefs 41-7. You come home, you win the barn burner in the home opener, 38-35, with Fitz hitting David Nelson for a 6-yard touchdown pass, 14 seconds left. We all remember the Fitz shriek that he's screaming he sounded like a schoolgirl after he made that touchdown pass. Went viral when social media was still in its infancy, but it sets the table for Week 3 Bills Patriots. Both teams come in 2-0. What do you remember about the lead up to the game that week? Because 2-0, you guys are off to a hot start.
Yeah, the lead up was just all about the Patriots. The team that they had. You give respect to it. Them being the dynasty that they was building. Brady with Edelman, with Welker, with Gronkowski. We was just figuring out, overall looking at how can we contain that offense, because I felt like our offense had the firepower, considering Gailey taking over and letting Fitz, run the show. I had all faith in Fred Jackson, CJ, and the guys. And, at the end of the day, I always got faith in myself against the Patriots defense, because I just felt like none of them can man up, and it was just it was like a system defense. And with a guy like Fitzpatrick who can dot a defense, I just felt like we had an opportunity to shock the world, and it ended up happening.
Gailey, for fans that don't remember him, didn't seem like a rah-rah guy. He seemed old school, very matter of fact. What was he like right before games heading out?
He was like a grandpa. He was like the sports grandpa that you got. But he was reserved in a way, though.
Yeah.
He was reserved, chill. Got to be respectful. I remember him sitting me a game in New England, for celebrating, and he was like, "Hey, look, Stevie, I got to do this to you," and I understood it, like, okay, I got you, coach, yeah. But I do kind of wish
Was that the Happy New Year shirt?
It was the Happy New Year,
Yeah.
yeah. And I kind of wish that Gailey didn't do that. I know he was sticking to the script of, being professional and all that. But at the end of the day, Gailey was one of those guys, though. He was a player's coach through and through. I never have no ill will with him. And I think we was probably one season away from maybe having something special with Fitz if he would have continued to mentor EJ. And
Gotcha.
then, I think EJ probably would have went a little bit longer. Who knows? But, anything goes.
So the Patriots get the ball first, and their offense was machine-like back then. You already mentioned Wes Welker. You got a young Rob Gronkowski, a young Julian Edelman, and they go right down the field on the opening possession. 9 plays, 80 yards. Welker, 14-yard touchdown catch. Is Fitz saying anything on the sidelines heading out after the touchback on the ensuing kickoff, just like, here we go? Or is it just very simple? You guys are just like, well, we're going to go do the same thing.
Yeah, it's just that. Here we go. Like, here we go, guys. Let's get it. But it's nothing like, guys, we have to come back. Listen to me. We have to do this. He was nothing like that. He was just like, come on, guys, let's go. Let's go do our thing.
Okay, so first play from scrimmage at your own 20, 3 receivers right. You're on the left by yourself. And I'm sure you guys saw on film, Patriots were playing a ton of man-to-man coverage. Like, you guys had to feel really good about those matchups. And right off the rip, like, Fitz, being Fitz, rips one to you down the left sideline because you shook Lee Bodden on that. And you got a 33-yard play on the first play from scrimmage, getting everybody fired up fast.
Yeah, the great thing about that was Freddie Jackson and then our screen game. So, that's what we took advantage of, them being able to press down on a run game because of Fred Jackson. And then Donald Jones, he did something pretty good early that game with a screen. And that just left me open on the outside to do what I do. And Fitz saw it instantly and made that play happen.
You guys, I have to believe, kind of wanted to show them right from the jump that you were going to be aggressive in this game, having lost the last 15 in a row. I know you guys weren't all around for all of those losses, but it was something that had built up with the fan base because they were there for all of those. They had shouldered those. And the last meeting right over your shoulder in this building the previous season, it was a 34-3 result in their favor. Like, was there any of that you guys were holding on to kind of going into this game and using as extra motivation?
Yeah, I mean, I can honestly say yes. Not necessarily saying we held on to that, but yeah, it's definitely in the back of our mind that these guys have been getting dubs on us like since the beginning, since we can remember.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who can we be the team to stop it? And when you had, like I said earlier, a coach like Chan Gailey giving us offensive freedom and then giving Fitzpatrick the reins, we felt like, hey, this is our time to make it happen, and, we did it.
Unfortunately, the next play on that drive, ball goes off Donald Jones' hands, and it gets picked off by Kyle Arrington going the other way. They go right down the field. It's 14-0. What's the mood on the sideline now?
Hey, things happen.
Okay.
Things happen.
So you're still all right?
Yeah.
Like, you're not sweating it?
Absolutely. No, not at
It's
all.
early.
Not at all. Yeah, you never really sweat anything until, you was probably about 15 seconds left in the game. And
All right, so your offense puts another drive together. You got a couple of receptions on this possession. Patriots playing a lot of man defense, as I mentioned. Chan seemed to feel good about you guys winning against man. I don't know if he was certain they were going to play that much man, but they were.
yeah.
Were you surprised?
A little bit. It was kind of strategic, man. The last time they played, man, I felt like was that play they tried to stop me down the sideline, and then after that, it was more of a deception of man, but they was dropping back or running back.
Okay.
So
it was like
press
bail?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but we was on it. Like Fitz, he was on it. We knew what to expect, so we were still a little step ahead, and then we ended up connecting later on.
Yeah, so you guys backed up in a 3rd and 19. David Nelson gets you 5 yards, 3rd down to the 35. So now you're in no man's land at the Patriots 35. 4th and 14. Chan's going for it already. 4th and 14, down 14-0, which I totally get. Another tip pass gets intercepted. It's Arrington again. You guys were moving the ball, though. So not terribly discouraged, even though it's another turnover. You're moving the ball.
Right, and that's the thing that kept us going. Like, oh man, this happened again. We're not discouraged at all because again, Fitzpatrick is slinging the ball to us. So we know there's opportunity. So, yeah, it did go wrong right there, but we were still confident that we can move the ball against this defense.
Because Brady goes right down the field again. He hits Gronk. Now it's 21-0. But on the ensuing possession, you guys finally get on the board. You and David Nelson kind of help lead the passing attack on that drive. Before half, you got Devin McCourty on you, first and goal at the 11, and you just give him a jab step inside, and you just get him leaning just a little bit, and then you're outside, and the ball's already halfway there. Was that what was so amazing about Fitz? Because, like, it's one thing to read your receivers, but, like, he's just like, yep, he's going to win. I'm putting it there. And because, like, you turn around and, like, the ball's there already.
Yo, CB, that's the magic, man. Like, we come out the huddle, and he does this to me, this sign.
Okay.
And that means you do you. And he was so good to where he understood my moves and which route I was going to do, either a fade or a slant. That's why the ball was already there. All I need to do is move the DB a little bit. And my guy, Fitzmagic, was there to have the ball right where it needed to be.
Okay, so it's 21-7 now. You jump in the stands down there, and you told me you had a little crew in the stands down there?
Yeah, that was the wing team. Had to go support the wing team. Shout out to everybody, the Fly Guy Nation. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because you sat there, you dropped the ball in your lap, and then you start making your wing sign, and we've seen that before.
Fly Guys and Fly Girls, sorry.
Yeah, okay. After Brian Scott comes up with a tip ball for a pick, offense is able to get in field goal range. You add another 3 points before the half, so it's 21-10. You guys had been hurting yourselves with penalties and turnovers, but you're only down 11 here at the half. You know you're getting the ball first in the second half. What's the vibe like in the locker room at halftime?
These guys haven't been able to stop us. We've only been shooting ourselves in the foot, and we still got time on the clock. Plus, we got Ryan Fitzpatrick, so we're ready to go.
Any talk at all about how you guys had just come back from 18 down at halftime the week before against the Raiders, or is that a different game? We're just worried about this one.
Yeah, surprisingly, no.
Okay.
Nobody. I think that was wiped out of our memory as soon as we put the film on for the New England Patriots.
Okay, fair enough. Second half starts. You guys go 3 and out, but then you get some help from your defense. Leotis picks off Brady's first pass of the second half, undercuts a route by Ocho Cinco, brings it back to the 34 in New England territory. You and Fitz convert a 3rd and 4, and I'm telling you, man, like, I was reminded watching this back. Fitz did not care how tight the coverage was. He was throwing it to you.
Yes, I'm telling you that you do you is a cheat code. So he already knew exactly where I'd be, and I know that I need to make the play for him, and I'm just happy that he broke some rules for us to make these connections.
Man, I mean, tight coverage, and he's just throwing it in there. Fitz finds a wide-open Scott Chandler on a busted coverage in the end zone. Now it's 21-17. You guys have scored 17 unanswered points. Did you feel the momentum shifting at all at this point, or not yet?
Yeah, I can't even say we felt momentum. I just felt like that defense wasn't able to stop us. So we knew at some point our skilled players on defense will make plays, and we seen it happen. And so we was just still more confident, like, okay, let us get back on the field again so we can keep pushing this ball.
Just keep giving us chances.
Yeah.
Patriots get points on their next drive. It's a field goal drive, so it's 24-17. Then neither team scores for like the next couple of possessions, but George Wilson comes up with another pick, undercuts a seam route to Gronk, and they get the ball back for the offense, which is all that you wanted, another chance, right? That's when Fitz hits Donald Jones, 48-yarder down the left sideline, and then you guys get a 31-yard penalty when David Nelson gets held up in the end zone down here by Sergio Brown. Pass interference, 1st and goal at the 1. Freddie ties the game, pounding it in with 10 minutes left. Crowd is way into it at this point, right? Like, what are you hearing?
Eruption. It was frantic. It was wild. It was everything you wanted to hear as a home team, Chris.
Yeah, and then the roof comes off the place because Tom Brady's first pass of the next series, off the helmet of Marcel, Drayton Florence in the right place at the right time, and he's back the other way and in the end zone. So you guys are feeling great about what you're doing on offense. Then you get that lift from the D who's scoring themselves. Like, you guys got to be like, is this where you're thinking, like, we might be able to beat these guys?
Well, yeah, we always felt like we was going to beat them anyway. But then when that happened and Drayton made that play, it was the right play. It was the right person to make it because Drayton, he was one of those guys that took pride in being a Buffalo Bill from another team. He taught us a lot as a veteran, so it was just perfect for him to seal the deal.
Wes Welker ties the game at 31 when he makes a 16-yard catch. He was a problem all day.
Yeah.
He had like 14 catches for 240 14 yards. He was their mismatch that they had on your guys. He was their cheat code.
Yeah, we can use Khalil Shakir like that, I
Yeah.
believe. Let's press
Yeah,
the
nowadays,
issue.
right?
Let's press the issue.
Okay, so Fitz comes out firing after that, because Welker ties the game. You guys looking for answers there, 3:25 left, and you're about to get the ball. Would Fitz say anything on the sideline before an upcoming drive like this, or is he just very matter of fact, like, here we go again? Like,
Yeah,
just,
same.
he's not a wordy guy.
Even kill. He doesn't make the moment bigger than what it is, and when the moment is big, I mean, he's just chilling with the guys.
Okay,
you know?
so he comes out firing, empty set, which you guys liked a lot back then, and he hits DJ down the right sideline, 29 yards, and you're already out at midfield. So, like, we're getting down to crunch time here. Screen pass to Freddie, and you're into Patriots territory, 2-minute warning to the 39. Fitz is talking to Chan on the sidelines, 2-minute warning. They're just, kibitzing a little bit. And then on the next play, it's another empty set. Fred is split out wide to the right, and Fitz hits him when he slants inside, and he takes it right to the goal line. Now, you guys think he scored. So you're thinking celebration time, but that actually worked out in your favor when replay came down and said, no, his knee's down on the 1-yard line.
Yeah,
Like, that worked in your favor.
It reminded me of the Baltimore week when Keon caught that pass
Yes.
and made the guy touch dirt. And but he ended up getting tripped up, and it kind of helped us out at the end. Yeah, we actually wasn't thinking about saving time. I wanted to see Freddie get in the end zone.
Well, right.
But it definitely worked out for us.
Yeah, so now you're killing clock, and Patriots have 2 timeouts, and Fitz just taking a knee to try to set it up, on the right hash for Lindell. So as Lindell is coming out on the field, are you like sitting there going,
He's got it.
We're going to do it. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Ryan Lindell, big shout out to Lindell. He was a pro. We always see him working on his kicks on practice. No matter what happened, like, we always have faith in Ryan, and he did what he was supposed to.
What did you guys think of your team then? Because it had been almost 2,500 days on the calendar since the last Bills win, which actually happened in a home opener here in 2003, which was another memorable game, 31-0. But, you knew how long the fans had suffered without a win over those damn Patriots teams, and you guys just delivered it for them. Like, I'm just, what are the feelings when you're seeing the fans? Like, you got people crying in the stands that you beat the Patriots. You're 3-0.
Indeed, and that's what I say when we first started this convo. It was just like a beautiful day. And when you think of a beautiful day, you think of sun, birds chirping. As Bills Mafia, you see fans rowdying and having a good time. And then when you add a football game, and then the game's over with 15 minutes past, and the people are still in the stands.
Yeah, they didn't want to leave.
Yeah, so I mean, it was just one of those things that felt like pure bliss as a football player. You know that meant more to the crowd because of how they stayed. It wasn't a normal game, but again, just like the week before, it was a great comeback and special for me as far as being a California kid, coming back and beating the Raiders. But again, like, after we got that dub, we was on to the next.
Yeah, and I actually still remember. So you remember those big flags they used to wave in the end zone after you guys would score? Freddie picked one up. Brian Scott picked up another, and they're running up and down the sidelines too. It's almost like the players didn't want it to end either, at least for a moment. 24-hour rule and all that, but it's like they wanted the party to continue too. It was kind of cool just to kind of see that. And that, I think that speaks to how interactive you guys were as a team with the fan base.
Yeah,
Would you agree?
True. That's true. That makes a lot of sense. I'm glad you actually pointed that out, because those guys didn't have to do that. They could have, again, went right in, and just like last week, we got the dub. Let's go back in and get ready for the next one. But they grabbed that flag, and they made it mean even more, and that's special. Great pictures.
Yeah. Well, it certainly was a memorable game for a lot of Bills fans who suffered right along with you dealing with those Patriots teams. One other game I want to bring up quickly that a lot of fans remember is the 2013 Week 2 game against Carolina. Largely a field goal game. E.J. Manuel is a rookie QB making just his second start, and it was far from a perfect game. But late on the final drive, Manuel throws to you deep over the middle. Luke Kuechly hooked you as the ball was thrown, and even though the ball was picked off, Kuechly gets flagged for PI. EJ scrambles down to the 2-yard line on the next play, gets out of bounds, sets up 2nd and goal from the 2. Manuel finds you in the back left corner of the end zone. Looked like the DBs got crossed up on that because you're by yourself with 2 seconds left for the game-winning touchdown. Where does that moment rank for you in this building?
It ranks very high. I would say maybe I'm thinking about the number 2 moment. Maybe because, it was my first time to get back the missed pass that I had against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep.
And I mean, my first time because now I can make this play. We had comebacks, but I wasn't the one to make the game-ending catch. So that one meant a lot to me because I can give my thank you back to the Lord.
That's like your make good for Bills fans, right?
Yeah, that part. And then, again, like you said, with EJ being a rookie, you just want to see your new rookies do well. And to show up for him, it meant a lot to give him that game-winning ball.
Yeah, because I remember his dad was in the stands. And, like, you catch that ball, and you are so carefully cradling that thing because you had all day to wait for that thing to show up.
Yes.
And it's like you're standing at the bus stop waiting for that thing to come.
Look, it's funny because against the
and
Pittsburgh
those are sometimes the harder ones.
Yeah, it was difficult. And it was difficult in a sense. But the Pittsburgh game, I was just thinking about catching it and running to the fans. And then when I caught that one in Carolina, you can see I caught it, I cradled it, and I was going to go to the stands again. I was like, you know what, let me just get my thanks first.
You took a knee.
Yeah.
I remember you took a knee, and then Eric Wood tackled you pretty much and jumped on you, which might not have been the best idea for a 300-pounder to jump on a receiver. But it was a great celebration, and I think a game that a lot of people remember fondly as well. Okay, last thing we do here, it's called First Thoughts. I ask you a few questions, and I just need what pops into your head.
You sure about
first.
that?
Yes, yes. So question 1, when you guys started 3-0 in 2011, including the win over the Patriots, did you believe at that moment you could be a playoff team and end the playoff drought?
Absolutely. Absolutely, without a doubt. I felt like when we had Fitzpatrick step in as the starting quarterback, I just felt like anything could happen. I felt like our offense was the best. So, yes, definitely.
And unfortunately, injuries curtailed that. Fitz gets hurt, Freddie breaks his leg, and you guys didn't have the depth to kind of sustain it. It's really unfortunate because I really thought that was the crew that was going to do it. What was something about Chan Gailey that wasn't known outside the walls of One Bills Drive?
Again, he was like grandfatherly.
Yeah.
He was Coach Gailey, he was free. He gave you freedom. He was open.
To be you.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if people ever looked at him and be like, he looked like he's pretty strict or stern, but he actually gave us freedom in meetings to talk and to again to run different routes as opposed to the ones you've seen on the paper. And I really love that about Coach.
Yeah, as long as you got to your landmark, he was good with you.
Yeah,
on time, hit your landmark. Whatever you do before that, I don't care.
Indeed, and there was a lot of coaches at the time that did not allow that or did not understand that. So I really give a lot of props to Coach Gailey and Ryan Fitzpatrick.
When you first walk into this stadium, what is the first thing that flashes in your mind most about your playing career here?
The ride into the tailgate. It used to be the Bills store near the facility with the jerseys. I always I have a flashback of that because I remember thinking if I can get my jersey in that stadium, that mean I'm like one of the guys,
arrived,
And it ended up happening for me and Freddie at the same time. So
that's wild. And then last one, what feelings get stirred up in you when you think about how you will always be linked to the start of Bills Mafia?
I love it. I hate that it had to happen that way, but who better for it to happen to, than someone that was already in the community, that already was committed to the community and took pride in being a Buffalo Bill. I was happy as hell to put on the Buffalo Bills helmet because when I was in Pop Warner, the first helmet I had was the Thurman Thomas. You know what I'm saying? The one bar. So when I got to get drafted and put on the same helmet as Thurman, Andre Reed's, Jim Kelly's, it was like, okay, I want to be like those guys, so it was pretty special.
Well, we always hear about turning negatives into a positive. I don't know if there's a bigger one than that. You think about where that moment took the fan base,
right. Again,
it is why this fan base is nationally known, maybe even globally known now. And
that's true.
You're the catalyst for that.
That is true. And just to give a little bit on that is this city has always been known as the city of good neighbors. So it was already here before Bills Mafia, but Bills Mafia definitely ignited it and took it to a whole nother level. That's you guys.
Stevie, always great catching up with you. It's always a blast. Appreciate the time. And we hope you enjoyed this edition with Stevie Johnson. I'm Chris Brown. We'll catch up with you next time on Games to Remember.